Kan. Shabbat Shalom Yasharala. Bashamash Yawashai. Because we are the land of Zion down here located in 2937 Westport Boulevard. I'm in a Lapalala, and to my left is
Officer Lion Paul.
Kan. And we are here to bring out the truth, the word of the Most side to the Israelites scattered toward the four corners of the earth. We're going to continue in the book of Joshua, chapter 13. That's dealing with our coming out of the wilderness and the conquest of the different nations before us. Going to occupying the lands that the Most High promised to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Starting Colossians 3, verse 17.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse 17. Mm-hmm. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Mashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to the Elohim and the Father by him.
Right. Whatever you do in the word or deed, make sure you do it in the word in the spirit of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushai. Whether it's your actions or your thoughts, make sure they're in conformity to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushai. Kan. Now let's go to Joshua chapter 13.
Joshua chapter 13. Now Joshua was old and stricken in years.
Right. So, today, the first Shabbat before the feast, we just came off the Day of Atonement. We are all transgression by fast abstaining from food or drink for 24 hours a day. Understand? We just came off of that. I know we're looking forward to going into the Feast of Tabernacles, where according to the scriptures, we dwelt in wilderness. We dwelt in tabernacles in the wilderness through those 40 years, coming out of Egypt, going into a homeland. And that's coming up right now in a couple of days. And the Most High is going to bless us to have another feast day. And today, Friday sundown, tomorrow Saturday sundown. After that, going to be Sunday. We're going to have the Feast of Tabernacles, where all Israel is going to come together, keep the high holy day, and we're going to dwell in tents. As for the scripture, God's scripture said, give me that act. Judges 5:11. We're going to rehearse the righteous acts. We're going to rehearse the righteous acts. Judges 5:11. Then we're going to go to Joshua. Book of Judges.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 5 and verse 11.
Right.
They that are delivered from the noise are archers in the place of drawing water.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers and the place of drawing waters. Who are they? The Israelites. Delivered from the place from the noise and the place of drawing waters. Meaning what? Delivered from captivity, from bondage. What about us? Read on.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Most High. What are they talking about? It's talking about us in captivity. Wherever we happen to be in captivity, the Most High said, don't forsake your nationality, your heritage. Always rehearse the righteous acts. Always keep the commandments of the Most High. And that's exactly what we're doing. That's what we did on the Day of Atonement. And coming up in a couple of days, we're gonna be doing that also in the wilderness, in the Feast of Tabernacles. Read.
Even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his village in Israel.
Right.
Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates.
Right. We're going to rehearse. Because right now, we haven't got it right. We are rehearsing. And because of Most High's mercy, I'm saying, we haven't got it right, but because of Most High's mercy, He allows us, because of His grace and mercy, He allows us to rehearse the acts and get it right. The various nations where we're scattered through the four corners of the earth. Okay, let's go back to Joshua chapter 13.
Joshua chapter 13. Now Joshua was old and stricken in years.
Right. In the previous chapters, we read about coming out of the wilderness. Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt and through the wilderness for 40 years. And then after Moses died, the Most High passed the responsibility on to Joshua. At that time, the 12th tribe of Israel was on the eastern side of River Jordan. Understand? Then the Most High had put his spirit on Joshua. The same spirit he had on Moses. And the Most High had us cross over River Jordan from the east to the west. On the eastern side of River Jordan, he gave certain portion of land to Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh, because those three tribes are cattle on the land, and the eastern side of Jordan was suitable for the rearing of cattle. Go on, huh? Chapter 13. No, it didn't. 13? Really? Do we?
Because 13, that's when he says Joshua is still old and he started talking about all the land that still has to be
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're probably right because you read from me.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you read chapter 12. Oh, okay. Okay, let me just summarize chapter 13 then. Okay, then Joshua was straight in the ears. And the Most High said, you're old now, so he's going to pass on the responsibility from Moses onto Joshua. No, Joshua is not old, so the Most High is not going to pass on the responsibility from Joshua to somebody else. Okay, let's go to chapter 14 then. Joshua chapter 14.
Joshua chapter 14. And these are the countries which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel distributed for inheritance to them.
Right. So the Most says about a list of different countries which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, because Canaan was you have country. In the country, you have different, like America, you have different states. Plus, besides America, you have plus in addition to America, you have Canada, which make about like a continent. So the Most I say what in the country of Canaan, these are the countries which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan. So in Canaan, there were different territories which were supposed to be divided amongst the different tribes of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on.
By lot was their inheritance, as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses, for the 9 tribes and for the half tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of 2 tribes and a half.
Right.
Tribe.
By lot was the inheritance as the Most High commanded by the hand of Moses for the 9 tribes. What does it say 9 tribes? Because there are 3 tribes on the east of Jordan, right? Which was basically outside of Canaan. And those 3 tribes are what? Gad, Reuben, and Manasseh. Read on.
on the other side of Jordan, on the other side Jordan. But unto Levites he gave none inheritance among them.
Right, because the Levites, they didn't get any inheritance as far as the land possession. Because the responsibility of the Levites was to what? To administer to the 12 tribes. And the Levites were positioned in the lands, in the territories of all the 12 tribes. And so on the offerings, the feast offerings and the sin offerings and all that, the Levites were supposed to get a portion of all that. That was supposed to be their sustenance. All right, that's what I was talking about. Read on.
Verse 4. For the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. Therefore they gave no part.
Right, the children of it, because for the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. You know, Joseph was one of the sons of Jacob. And we know the history of Joseph. Or Joseph was sold by his brothers to the Mennonites, who then sold Joseph to the Egyptians. And in Egypt, Joseph had 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, whom Jacob basically adopted or claimed as his own in Egypt instead of Joseph, and gave the bigger portion to Ephraim, even though Ephraim was the younger of the 2 sons. Read.
Therefore they gave no part unto the Levites in the land, save cities to dwell in.
Right. So the Levites are cities to dwell in, but they weren't given any land title per se. The Levites weren't given, okay, this is your land, Levi. No, the Levites didn't have that blessing. The responsibility was to administer to the Israelites the laws, statutes, and commandments. But the Levites were not given any land title. Read on.
With their suburbs for their cattle and for their substance.
Right.
As the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did, and they divided the land.
Right, because we all know, Scripture said in Deuteronomy 32, verse 8, the Most High divided the lands according to the nations, according to the Israelites. The Most High decided before we were even a nation how he was going to divide the land. Get that out. Deuteronomy 32 and 8. For the children is just okay.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 8. When the Most High divided the nations, their inheritance.
Right. When the Most High divided the nations, their inheritance. When it says the nations, talking about all nations of this earth. Not just Israel. Read it again.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance.
Read on.
When he separated the sons of Adam.
When he separated the sons of Adam is talking about all nations. Not just Israel, because he separated Israel from the other nations. Read on.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So the Most High determined the border lines for the different nations based on the size of the nation of Israel. Read.
For the Lord's portion is his people.
For the Most High's portion is his people. And the Most High's portion is Israel. Israel is the Most High's people. Read on.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Right. Jacob is the lot of the Most High's inheritance. Okay. Is there more?
That's it on
I'll
that.
go back to Joshua. Chapter 14, verse what? 4? Somewhere right 5?
Yeah, we just got done with 5.
Okay.
Verse
Read
5.
5 again.
As the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did as they divided the land.
Right.
Then the children of Judah came unto Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb, the son of
Jephunneh,
the Kenizzite, said unto him, Thou knowest the thing that the Lord said unto Moses, the man of the Most High, concerning me and thee, in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought him word again, as it was in my heart.
Right. So the children of Judah came unto Joshua and Caleb in Gilgal, and then the children of Judah came unto Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenite said unto him. So they were reminding Joshua what happened, because we all know that many of the different tribes were sent by Moses to spy out the land. And most of the men came back and said, giants all over the land. We can't go up in there. Except for Joshua and Caleb. So now the children of Caleb were reminding Moses what happened. Read on.
Nevertheless, my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people melt.
Right. So, right. The other 10 tribes, the men of the other 10 tribes were very negative about what they saw, and made the people of Israel to tremble based on what they saw in amongst the other nations. Read on.
But I wholly followed Yahweh my power.
Yeah, but Caleb said he and Joshua followed the commandment of the Most High. Read on.
And Moses swore on that day, saying, Surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thine inheritance, and thy children's forever, because thou hast wholly followed the Most High thy power.
Right. So they were reminding Moses, our father Caleb, he was positive. He gave a positive report. And you told him that wherever he trod on, wherever his feet were to walk, was going to be his possession. So we are reminding Moses of what happened. We are reminding Joshua what transpired between Caleb and Moses. That this land is supposed to go to the children of Caleb. Read on.
Verse 10. And now behold, the Lord hath kept me alive, as he said, these 40 and 5 years, ever since the Lord spake this word unto Moses, while the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now lo, I am this day fourscore and 5 years old.
Right, that's Caleb. fourscore and 5 years old. Oh, what is that? How many years is that? What's the score, by the way?
20.
What's the score? I scored 20 years. Yeah. And 4 scores what? 4 times 20 what? 80. This 4 score and 4 and 5 years is 85. So Caleb was telling Joshua that, I'm 85 years old now. Understand? So read on.
As yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now, for war, both to go out and to come in.
Right. So Caleb was saying, I'm just as strong and fit as I was 40 years ago. When Moses sent me to spy the land. to go to war, to come back in. So that means what? Hey, whatever is expected of me to going forward to conquer the other nations, I'm down. I'm ready. I am capable of that. Read on.
Forgive me this mountain. Wherefore the Lord spake in that day. For thou heardest in that day how the Anakims were there.
Right. So no, Caleb said, no. Therefore give me this mountain where the Most High spake in that day. For thou heardest in that day how the Anakims were there. Who are the Anakims? Okay. Who are they though? What do you know about the Anakims? Were your sisters Anakims? I've heard about Anakims. Anakims. They were like giants. And our people did see them, but they forgot that the Moses said what? He was going to deliver the heathens into intimidated by the Anakims. All right, read on.
If so be, the Lord will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as the Lord said. And
right, because Anakims were the mighty people, like just like later on. What about Goliath and the Philistines and Goliath? Baruch what?
Chapter 3, verse 26 to 27.
Baruch, that's Apocrypha. Apocrypha?
You can't.
Oh, you got it in the book? Okay. Baruch 3:26 in the Apocrypha.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
These were the giants famous from the beginning.
Right. These were the giants famous from the beginning. So the land was famous for having certain giants of certain tribes, of certain nations, people. The Anakims were amongst them. Read on.
That were of so great stature.
Read again.
Okay, 26. There were the giants famous from the beginning that were of so great stature.
There were giants famous from the beginning that was of so great stature. Stature mean what?
Size.
Physical, you know what I mean? Physical being, you know what I mean? The height and all that, the build. That's the stature right there. Read on.
And so expert in war.
And they were not only were they big, they were expert in the war. And their fame were known throughout all the land in that time. So even the Israelites, the ones who were not in the spirit, were afraid of them. Read on.
Those did not the Lord choose, neither gave.
The Most High didn't choose them, even though they were men of stature, even though they were supposedly men of physical stature, in size and all that, and of men of valor, so to speak, warriors. The Most High did not choose them because what? They were not of the nation of Israel. Read on.
Neither gave he the way of knowledge unto them.
Neither gave he the way of knowledge unto them. What is that saying? Neither gave he the way of knowledge unto them. That tells you right there that it's a Most High who gives the way of knowledge unto any man or woman. Knowledge and wisdom and understanding comes from the Most High. Read on.
But they were destroyed because they had no wisdom.
They were destroyed because they had no wisdom. Their wisdom was of what? Themselves. Their wisdom did not come from the Most High. Just like in these days, men of stature, men of prominence, all the generals, the colonels, these presidents, senators, and all that, may never known, they're going to be destroyed. Why? Even though they have power in this earth right now, the power that they have did not come from the Most High. So that power is not sustainable. That power is going to what? Evaporate in due time. And the Most High is going to give his power, his wisdom, his knowledge unto the men of Israel that he chooses. Right. That's always been the case throughout the generations. Right?
And perish through their own foolishness.
They perish through their own foolishness. Right now, we see what's going on in America right now. There's a war going on in the so-called Middle East. Because previously, America had like a treaty or an alliance with Syria. They had troops in Syria. America always had troops in various parts of the world, and they had troops in Syria. And Trump just withdrew the troops from Syria. What happened after Trump took the troops from Syria? Now Turkey is bombarding Syria. Now Turkey is attacking Syria, attacking the Kurds over in Syria. And the people in Syria, they haven't got a clue what to do. Even Trump's own people say, what are you doing? They're in division as to what whether or not Trump made the right decision. Now let you know right there, hey, the wisdom of these men who are in power is foolishness. And at any time the Most High can confound them and how they make some decisions which are what? Detrimental to their well-being. Because the Most High tells us what? In these last days, it can be nation against nations, country against country, wars, and rumors of wars. And that's what's going on right now. Turkey, and we all know what's going on with America and Iran, the tension between America and Iran, the sanction they have against Iran, because Iran supposedly is on the cusp of getting the nuclear weapon, and that's detrimental to America's dominance. So these things are what's going on. In due time, I'm going to go into Ezekiel 38 and 39 to further expound on what's going on in Syria and Turkey, because that's basically prophecies coming to pass, coming to the forefront. Read on.
I think that's it on that. You want me to continue?
Where are you at now?
29 now. We're still in Baruch 3.
I'll go back to Joshua then. Go back to Joshua. Mm-hmm. Chapter 14, verse what?
Verse 13.
All right, on.
And Joshua blessed him and gave Caleb unto the son of Jephunneh.
We 12 again.
12.
And flow into it, yeah.
Now, therefore, give me this mountain, wherefore the Lord spake in that day. For thou heardest in the day how the Anakims were there, and that the cities were great and fenced. If so be, the Lord will be with me. Then I shall be able to drive them out, as the Lord said.
Right. So Caleb said, "Oh yeah, don't forget what I did, man. I was done with Israel. I was positive, and I gave a positive report to you, to Moses, according to the commandment of the Most High. I was not in fear of these Anakims. So give me this mountain. Understand? And I'm still young. I'm 85, and I'm just as young as I was when I was 40. or 45. So if you need me, I got you. I can help you to drive out these other nations and the rest of the Anakims. Read on.
And Joshua blessed him and gave unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh Hebron for an inheritance. Hebron therefore became the inheritance of Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite unto this day, because that he wholly followed the Lord God of Israel.
Right. So, if you want an inheritance from the Most High, follow His commandments, regardless of the obstacles or tribulation that's in front of you. Read on.
And the name of Hebron before was Kirithra
Kirjath Arba.
Kirath Araba.
Kirjath Arba. Okay.
Which Arba was a great man among the Anakims, and the land had rest from war.
Right. So that so Hebron was named after one of the Anakimites, one of the giants of Anakim. Read on.
Verse 15. This then was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah by their families, even to the border of Edom. The wilderness of Zin southward was the uttermost part of the south coast.
Right. So Judah's portion was towards the south. See Hebron right here? See Hebron right here in Judah. See Judah right there. Can it go up here? Can it go up? Bring it up some more. Right. Yeah, right. Go a little bit more. Up. No, up.
No, go, yeah.
The opposite direction.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, down there now. Okay. See.
No, that map is okay.
Can I show Edom? See Hebron right there. That's Hebron. That's the portion that was given to Caleb and his sons. Okay. This is Judah. See the side, the tribe of Zebulun, Issachar, Manasseh. So Judah was to the south, and below Judah was Edom. So all the walls and most of the walls that Israel had that were fought with Edom, Judah was a major force in that war. I don't know if you can show the border of Edom south. Yeah, give me another map put out where it shows Edom on the south of Judah. See that? Right. It's Edom right there, the south of Judah. It's Edom, Simeon. Right, the Judah to the south. That's Hebron right here, right? So right onto the so you got Manasseh, Gad, and Reuben. All right. So these three tribes are to the east of Jordan: Manasseh, Gad, and Reuben. Then got the Ammonites, the Moabites, and the Edomites. Edomites just the south of Judah, and Simeon was in the middle of basically the middle of Judah. Right. Read on.
Verse 2. And their south border was from the shore of the Salt Sea, from the bay that looked southward.
Right. The borders on the south of the Salt Sea. Read on.
And it went out to the south side to Ma'ale Rabim,
Kan.
and passed along to Zin, and ascended up on the south side onto Kadesh Barnea, and passed along to Hezron, and went up to the Adar, and fetched, and compassed to Karaka.
Let me see where that is. As well. Kadesh, you said?
Want me to read it again?
Yeah, read it again.
Verse 3. And it went out to the south side of Malakarib, and it passed along to Zin, and ascended up to the south side of Kadesh Barnea.
It's the south side of Kadesh Barnim.
And passed
Kadesh, right. It's the border, Kadesh, right. Read on.
And passed along to Hezron, and went up to Adar.
And Padas unto Hezron and to Adar. This might really show those cities, but you know, it's still than where the south border was of Judah. Read on.
And fetched and compassed to Karka. From thence it passed toward Asmon, and went out unto the river of Egypt, and the goings out to the coast, out of that coast, were at the sea. This shall be your south coast.
Right, that's the south coast down here. Right, the south coast, right. You know.
And the east border was the salt.
Right, the east border, the Salt Sea, which was the Dead Sea, up to the River Jordan. Right, because the River Jordan flowed right into the Salt Sea. Right there. We're on.
And their border in the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the uttermost part of Jordan. And the border went up to Beth Hogla, and passed along the north of Beth Arabah. And the border went up to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. And the border went up toward.
Right. Okay. There's Reuben right there. Okay.
And the border went up toward Debir from the valley of going up to
Gilgal right there. Read on. Okay.
As towards
northward, looking toward Gilgal. That is before they're going up to Adumim, the waters of Shemesh. And the goings out thereof were at Enrogel. Okay, it doesn't show that, but okay. But we have a general idea. It's up there. You have Judah, then you have Benjamin, and then you have Ephraim going northward, going straight up north. Read on.
And the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnon unto the south side of the Jebusite, and the same is Jerusalem.
Right, exactly. With Jerusalem, and the same as with Jerusalem right there. For long years, at a time, a lot of people believe that Jerusalem was actually in Judah, but it's actually, you can see right there, Jerusalem is actually in the land of Benjamin. Jerusalem actually in the land of Benjamin. That's why the Moses says specifically it was going to raise the tens of Judah first. So the house of David doesn't magnify itself. That's a contradiction right there, because Jerusalem was in the land of Benjamin. That means that even though the kings were of Judah, the house of David also had men of other tribes besides Judah. And those men were called, even they were loyal to the king of Judah, they were also at sort of allegiance to their own tribe, which may be kind of adverse to Judah overall. That's what the Most High said. Another time I get that in Zechariah, the Most High said it's gonna raise the tens of Judah first. Can anybody get that? So we can understand what that's talking about. Years ago, I mentioned that to brothers. Didn't know what it was talking about, because I peeped that Jerusalem was actually in the land of Benjamin, not Judah. Even though, you know what I'm saying, it was Judah who were the kings. But the kingdom was actually established in the land of Benjamin. That's why Benjamin and Judah always had that close alliance, even to this day. That's why that's when the kingdom split in 733 BC with Solomon. Judah and Benjamin was right there. Plus Levi, because Levi said, we ain't going nowhere because you guys are off. Because Ephraim wanted to worship those calves and all that, because he was afraid that if the people came back to Jerusalem and followed the ways of the Most High, then they would overthrow Ephraim. So that's you got it. Is Zechariah? You get it right. Zechariah 12, 7, and 8. Get me that. Con. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7 and 8. Why did the Most High say he was going to raise the tents of Judah first? Read it in entirety. Then read it again. Then I break it down. Zechariah 12, verse 7 and 8. Read on.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 12, verse 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first.
Right. What did Moses say? The Moses said he will also save the tents of Judah first. Read.
That the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah.
Right. So most, if you read that, it's like there was an opposition. It was like so-called juxtaposing one against the other. The Most High said he was going to raise the tents of Judah first, so that the house of read again, Art. Let me get it right.
Verse 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first.
The Most High said in his last days he was going to save the tents of Judah first. Of all the 12 tribes, he said he was going to save the tents of Judah first. Why did the Most High say that? Read on.
That the glory of the house of David.
That the glory of the house of David. But wait a minute now. The house of David. Wasn't David of Judah? David was of Judah. Solomon was of Judah. But the kingdom, the throne, the palace wasn't where? In Benjamin. The fact that the palace was in another tribe's territory meant that what? There were other men or people of the other tribes who was in the palace with David. Understand? Those men were loyal to David, but they also are loyal to their respective tribes, which could be contrary to the power of Judah overall. Because don't forget, when Saul was battling with David, understand? Benjamin overall backed David over Saul. A lot of people don't know that. Even though a lot of people, there was a division. A lot of people backed Saul because, Saul was David. But it's because Saul was Benjamin. But at the same time, a lot of Benjamites backed David over Saul, because they knew that the Most High had chosen David to rule. You know what I'm saying? So and they told David that we're with you. You know what I'm saying? What? We changed something? Oh, all right. Oh, but look, but this time look at Jerusalem. I got the border in Judah now.
Jerusalem's in
You know what I'm saying? That's not the case. Go back to the other one, huh? Look at the border. Look at the border right here. Go back to the other one. You know what I'm saying? Read it again. Read the scripture again.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 12 and verse 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first.
Moses said the tents of Judah first, read.
That the glory of the house of David.
That the glory of the house of David. which consisted of Judah and other tribes who were loyal to King David, not disloyal to Judah, but they were loyal to King David, while at the same time have some kind of a loyalty to their own tribes, which kind of put them at adversity with Judah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And because they may say, we're in Judah, but we with David. So who are you? You know what I'm saying? Because regardless of you may be righteous, but there's always some kind of a amount of ego in us.
Right.
There's always some kind of a power struggle in us. Because everybody want to be, in some kind of problem. Everybody want a high seat. Even when we are humble, we want to be reckoned with. We want to be stand Judah overall. That's gonna be the head tribe. David is gonna be the king. That's where the kings are gonna rule from. But there are gonna be other men with the king, but who are not Judah, and that may be that may pose a problem to Judah. But if that's what Moses said, we're gonna raise Judah first, so those men can't magnify themselves against Judah. Read on.
And the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah.
Right. And the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. You can't say, we were the king. We're talking about you ruling, Judah. We were the king. So we're ruling. Moses said, no. So Moses said, no, he gonna be like that. So Judah's gonna have the power first. You know what I'm saying? Judah's gonna have the power first. And then all the tribes are going to see. That's what the Moses said. The tribes are going to bow down to Judah. Meaning what? They're going to acknowledge that Judah is a head tribe, because the Moses are going to put the spirit of Judah first, put them in a position of prominence, so they will see that. Read on.
Verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
Right. In that day shall the Most High defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and the Most High is going to have it that Judah even defend Jerusalem and the rest of the country, the rest of the nation. Read on.
And he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God.
Right. And he that is feeble amongst them, even the weak ones, are going to be as strong as David, and David can be what? As gods. What is talking about? David's gonna be his God, power. Talking about superpower, man. Because what did Yahweh say? Power that he had, things that he was doing. We're gonna be doing it in that day. So David's gonna be doing miracles, man, that are performing deeds, and you thought it was a madman back then? Wait till the Most High raise him up in the last days. You're gonna see something else. That's what I was talking about. Read on.
As the angel of the Lord before them.
As the angel of the Lord before them. Read on.
And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem.
Right. That's talking about Armageddon right there. You're going to have some nations that willingly come to us and say, like Isaiah 14, tell you all the nations say, they come willingly, and they're going to be our bondsmen and bondswomen, and Micah 4:1, Zechariah 4, what is that? Going to come willingly, but some are going to want to magnify themselves. Place. Read it again, that precept.
Verse 9, and it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all
nations,
Jerusalem,
that come against Jerusalem, because there are going to be many nations who come against Jerusalem. Most High is with you. Isaiah 14, Micah 4, Zephaniah 8:22. When the Holy Curse of the Jews, I said, we see the Most High is with you. That's some of them, but a lot of them has magnify themselves, I'm gonna think that they can destroy us. Read on.
Verse 10, and I will pour upon the house of David and upon me whom they have pierced.
On David, on Jerusalem. Read on.
And they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son.
Right. See, you know that's talking about the last days. It's talking about Yahushai. Return of the Mashiach Yahushai. Now go back to Joshua. Yeah. We are 15 or something.
Yeah, we in 15. 15 and I believe 5 or 6. I'm gonna go back to 5.
We try again.
Verse 5. And the east border was the salt sea,
Mm-hmm.
even unto the end of Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And their border in the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the uttermost part of Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And the border went up to Beth Holga and passed alongside the north of Beth Araba. And the border went up to the stone of Bonha and the son of Reuben. And the border went up toward Debir from the valley of Achor and the northward, looking toward Gilgad. That is before the going of Adumium, which is the south side of the river, and the border passed towards the waters of Eshnish and the
Right. Adumia, the south. Reuben to the south, to the northeast. The Salt Sea. Yeah. All right. So it's the border of Judah right there. So a lot of land Judah got. Manasseh is basically in the middle of Judah. I'm sorry, Simeon is in the middle of Judah. All right, read on, huh?
verse 8. And the border went up by the valley of the sons of Hinnom unto the south side of Jebusite. The same is Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lieth before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the end of the valley of the giants.
No, show me that on the map, Hawk. Show me that on the map now. Maybe. Yeah. Let me see that. I'm gonna ignore Jerusalem, but this may show me some of the things that this verse is talking about. Can I enlarge it a little bit? Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. It's all right. Simeon is in Judah, yeah. Simeon is in Judah, yeah. Edom is to the south. All right. I'll go back to the other one. I read on.
Verse 9. And the border was drawn from the top of the hill unto the fountain of the water of Nephtolha, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron, and the border was drawn to Baal.
By the way, what time was this? By the way, what time period was this? By the way, when did we go into Israel? When did Jacob? Oh. When did Jacob go into Israel? Okay. We're talking about 1881, 1880. I would say it all along. We're sitting in 430 years, right? Subtract 430 from 1880. That leaves what? 1450. Right? And we're sitting in the wilderness what? For 40 years, right? So subtract 40 from 1450. What did I leave you? 1410.
1410.
Roughly. All right. So basically, that's where we at right now. 1410. BC, of course. Before the Mashiach Yahushai. 1410 BC. Before the Mashiach Yahushai. Just to give a time frame. It's always good to have an idea what time frame we're talking about when we're going to the scriptures, so we can, put things in the proper perspectives. Go ahead.
What time did we enter into Jacob entered into
Egypt.
Egypt?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. What time did we go?
1880.
1880.
I would stay there for 430 years. So where do we leave? Subtract 430 from 1880, right? What do you get? Do the math.
450.
Huh?
It's like 450.
Nah.
You said
no.
18 what? 18.
14, yeah, 1450. That's when we left, 1450.
Oh, that's when we left?
Yeah. And you all know we were in the wilderness for 40 years, right?
Okay.
So subtract 40 years from 1450. What does that leave?
1410.
1410. So that's where we're at right now, 1410. This is where we are, all right? We're about to go to take over these lands right now. This is basically at the end of the 40 years. I'm saying? So, which is 1410. So that's where we are right now. All right. So go back to Joshua 15.
Okay, verse 9. And the border was drawn from the top of the hill onto the fountain of the water of Nephtoah, and went out unto the cities of Ephron, and the border was drawn to Baalah, which is Kirath Jearim, and the border compassed from Baalah westward unto Mount Seir, and passed along unto the side of the Mount Jearim, which is Cheslon, on the north side, and went down to Beth Shemesh, and passed onto Timnah, and the border went out onto the side of Ekron northward, and the border was drawn to Shikron, and passed along the mount of Baalah, and went out unto Jabneel. And the goings out of the border were at the sea, and the west border was to the great sea, and the coast thereof.
Right. So we just read about the east border. Now we read about the west border. The west border was over this side. I read on.
This is the coast of the children of Judah, round about according to their families.
Mm-hmm.
And unto Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, he gave a part among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to
right.
Joshua.
He gave Caleb's land in Hebron. Right. Read on.
Even the city of Arba, the father of Anak, which city is Hebron.
Right, Hebron. That's where Caleb's land was. Hebron. Right. Read on.
And Caleb drove thence the three sons of Anak, Sheshnai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, and
what verse is that?
I'm at 14.
And Caleb drove thence the three sons of Anak. See that? Anak, see? So the Anakims were the sons of Anak. The Anakims Anak was a mighty man a giant of the Hamites in the land of Canaan. Understand? So the Anakim, it says, three sons. So the Anakims were descendants of Anak. And Caleb, he was 85 years old, but it was no joke. He said, what? I am just as strong as I was at 85 when I was 40. And Joshua said, yeah, okay, I believe you. I've seen your work. I gave him the land of Hebron. And Caleb said, yo, he drove these men and he drove the giants out. The Anakims, the three sons of Anak. What's it? Read verse 14 again.
And Caleb drove thence the three sons of Anak, Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai,
right.
the children of Anak.
So he drove them out. Get out of this land. The Most High said, this land is ours. Your days are done. That's what Caleb said to them. Read on.
And he went up thence to the inheritance of Debir. And the name of Debir before was Kith Ker Riath Sefer. And Caleb said, he that smiteth Kirith Sephner and taketh it, to him will I give Aksha, my daughter, to wife. And
Aksa, wait a minute, Aksa, you know. You know Aksa? You know the restaurant the restaurant on 19th Street on Oakland Park, Aksa. I wonder if they got it, the Benjamin restaurant. I was here today. I wonder if that's where they got it from. I'm gonna ask them. There's one on 19th Street, right there, 19th Street on 31st Ave. Aksa, yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you're right.
I'm wondering if there's where they got it from. Because you know what I'm saying.
No, I'm out for Axe.
Yeah, they got yes. Aksa. I'm wondering where they got those names from. Yeah. And you know, sometimes Benjamin and they kind of spiritual, you know what I mean. Come up with his names, you know what I mean, of ancient Israel, you know. Aksa, I got to inquire. I wonder if they know. To him will I give Aksa, my daughter, to wife. Read on.
And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, and the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Akshna, his daughter, to wife.
Right. And Othniel, the son of Kizah, the brother of Caleb. Wait a minute. So the brother of Caleb. So Caleb gave his daughter to his brother. That means he gave that was his niece. It's his brother's. If he gives his daughter to his brother, that was she was his niece. Okay, we're on.
And it came to pass as she came unto him that she moved him to ask of her father a field, and she lighted off her donkey, and Caleb said unto her, what wouldest thou? Who answered, give me a blessing, for thou hast given me a south land, give me also spring of water. And he gave her the upper springs and the nether springs.
Right. So she wanted more than he gave her. He gave her son okay. Who answered, give me a blessing, for thou hast given me a south land. So I guess the land is south didn't have much water, she was saying. Give me also springs of water. And he gave her the upper springs and the nether springs and the lower springs. So she asked for a lot. And he gave it to her. Read on.
This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families. 21. And the uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the coast of Edom southward were Kabzeel and Eder and Jagur and Kena and
Demona. Maybe that's where Demona come from. Okay.
And Adad Adada,
Adada,
and Kadesh, and Hezrah, and Ithin, Ziph, and Telem, and Biloth,
mm,
and Hezrah, and Hadath, and Kithroth, and Hezron, which is Hazar. 26. Amam, and Shema, and Molada, and Hazar Gadada, and Hermon, and Beth Palet, and Hazarel, and Beersheba, and Bizoniath, verse 29. Baala, and Jim, and Azim.
all these are going to be cities of Judah. And those are the chapters going into chapter 63 are going to be cities of Judah that was given to the Judahites going into homeland. So we can probably stop it from right here. Let me see. Okay, all this rest of this chapter are cities that were given to Judah. I'll go to 16, chapter 16.
Joshua chapter 16.
As a matter of fact, read verse 63. 1563.
Joshua chapter 15, verse 63. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out. But the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem unto this day.
Right. So there were certain remnants of the Canaanites that the Israelites had problem driving out totally. Yeah, Tyre and Zidon, and we reading about the people of the Jebusites. Even though we took over the land, there was a certain amount of them that was still there. We were not able to utterly destroy them like the Most High commanded us. But even though the Most High said he commanded us to destroy them, he also left a certain remnant of them to try us, to see if we were gonna conform to their ways, or if we were gonna impose on them the ways of the Most High and force them to follow our way of living. And that was the case with the Jebusites. We were not able to utterly destroy them or drive them out. Up until that time, they dwelt amongst the children of Judah. Now go to chapter 16. Joshua 16. We're going to finish chapter 16, and that's going to be it. The brothers can get ready for camp. Right on.
Joshua chapter 16. Mm-hmm. And the lot of the children of Joseph fell from Jordan by Jericho unto the water of Jericho on the east, to the wilderness that goeth up from Jericho throughout Mount Bethel.
Throughout Mount, okay, Ephraim's right. The lot of, right. So it's Benjamin right there. Just north of Jerusalem, just north of Judah, Benjamin. Then above that you have Ephraim. Up to Bethel. That's Judah's land, right? That's Ephraim's land right there. Read on.
And goeth out from Bethel to Luz, and passed along unto the borders of Archi to Ataroth, and goeth down westward to the coast of Japhleti, unto the coast of Betharon, the nether, mm-hmm. and to Gezer, and the going out thereof are at the sea. So the children of Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim took their inheritance. And the border of the children of Ephraim according to their families was thus, even the border of the inheritance on the east side of Ataroth Adar unto Betharon the upper. And the border went out toward the sea to Mechmetha on the north side. And the border went out to the eastward to Anath Shiloh, and passed by it on the eastward of Jonathan. And it went down from Jonathan to Ataroth and to Naaroth, and came to Jordan and went out to Jordan. The border, verse 8, the border went out from Tapua westward unto the river Canaan, and the goings out thereof were at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of children of Ephraim by their families, and it separate cities from the children of Ephraim were among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. Verse 10. And they drove out.
Because Manasseh was to the north. See, Manasseh got a lot of land, man. Whoa. Look at Manasseh over here on the east side. Damn. Yeah, man. On the west side of Jordan, east side of Jordan, the Jordan right there. Coming down straight down from the north into the Dead Sea. Yo, you got Manasseh, got all that land over there, Manasseh. Yo, you got all the land over there, Manasseh, to this north of I thought the most I said was yeah, exactly, yeah. That's east of Ephraim.
Yeah, right next to Ephraim.
And the most says that Ephraim was going to get a double portion. It looks like Manasseh got a double portion. I guess in the kingdom to come, Ephraim was going to get a double portion. Yeah, Joseph double portion, but looks like Esau Manasseh got most of that double portion. Manasseh got probably 2/3. I think Ephraim got 1/3. Yo, because you see that Manasseh was just north of Ephraim, the two tribes. Yeah. Look at Benjamin, right? Benjamin
got a piece of Jordan. They get a piece of the river Jordan.
Look at land, yeah. We got a Yeah, we got
they get a piece of that Jordan.
Yeah. I'm saying. Read on now.
Verse 9. And the cities and the separate cities of the children of Ephraim were among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. Verse 10. And they
on the separate cities for the children of Ephraim were among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh. See, the separate cities of the children of separate cities of children of Ephraim. Yeah, because what Ephraim and Manasseh they share the border. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure, being that they are both Joseph anyway, I'm sure they interact with each other more than probably more than the tribes. You know what I'm saying? And they share cities. That's why see Jerusalem, huh? See that right there, Jerusalem was actually in Benjamin land. A lot of people didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? We went over that earlier. Jerusalem was actually situated in the land of Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? That's why maybe that's why Judah and Benjamin kind of always coexist for the most part. That's why split Judah and Benjamin always stuck together when they're the tribe. Judah and Benjamin are stuck together when they're the 10 tribes. When basically the other 9 tribes. Because Levi stuck together with us too, because Levi said, yo, they're off. Levi said they're off. Yeah. The one Levi said, they said, Levi, we don't want you anyway. We're gonna recruit basemen. Basemen of other tribes.
Right.
You know why Levi said, you know what, forget you guys. I'm gonna hook up with Judah and Benjamin. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, maybe that's why that JBL thing is going so strong. Yeah. Read on.
Verse 10. And they drive not out the Canaanites that dwell in Gezer.
And they drove out all the Canaanites that dwelt in Gezer, right? So see that the Most High always left Canaanites and the Amites amongst us to test us, to see if we're gonna be loyal to him or if we're gonna be seduced by the heathens. Read on.
But the Canaanites dwell among Ephraimites unto this day and serve under tribute.
The Canaanites dwelt under Ephraim. Okay, so most of the Canaanites dwelt under Ephraim and pay tribute to them. So we're going to conclude with that today. There was chapter 16.
Yeah, we ended at 17.
No, we finished 16.
Yeah, we finished 16.
So next week we continue 17. Maybe next couple of weeks. The rest of this month. Okay. So we're gonna conclude today the book of Joshua. As per the Most High, a couple of days we're gonna have the high holy days, Feast of Tabernacles. Right now brothers are gonna get ready for camp. Are the brothers here for camp? Are you still gonna wait for other brothers to come?
General Captain.
Okay. Let's see. Ahmadi Wapanya, Jerusalem, stand and face Jerusalem. I'm going to read the Hebrew. Yeah. 133. Psalms 133. Shayar, Hama Iwath, Ladawad, Hana, Ma, Tawab, Wama, Naayam, Shabath, Gam, Yakad, Kashaman, Hatawab, Ail, Haraash, Yarad, Ail, Hazak, Zakwan, Haaran, Shayarad, Ail, Paya, Madawatyawa, Katal, Karamwan, Shayarad, Ail, Hararia, Tazayawan, Kaya, Sham, Tazawa, Yahawa, Ath, Abaraka, Kayawam, Aid, Iwalam, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Tawara, Aman.
The book of Psalms. This is the book of Psalms 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garment, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountain of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessings, even life forevermore. By Hashem, Amashiach Yahushai, the Wadatam Yad, Aman.
Oh.